Right. So Jamie Carragher is back again with his, unnecessary Chelsea comments. And this time around, he's talking about how, I'll read the quote. I know Chelsea fans are buzzing because the team has been winning their friendly matches. But let's be honest, that doesn't mean you're ready to win the Premier League. In pre-season, most opponents aren't going full throttle. The games don't have real stakes. Once the Premier League starts, it's completely different level. Every team is fighting for the points and the competition is brutal. Listen, Jamie, nobody cares. I can speak from a Chelsea point of view, and I'm sure I can speak for a lot of Chelsea fans. We don't give a damn. So, we don't care. Listen, there is no Chelsea fan that is celebrating, or buzzing, like you said, just because we won those two friendly matches against Leverkusen and against AC Milan. No. Let me tell you something, Jamie Carragher. Chelsea fans, we are buzzing because we have been seeing our team growing. We are seeing our boys becoming men. If you look from the back end of last season, Chelsea have been good. When we played Nottingham Forest, Fulham, we lost to Newcastle. But those last 5, 6, 7 games, we were actually good. And then from then, we moved to Club World Cup, which again, no matter how you want to talk about the Club World Cup, whether you think it's not necessary, whether you think it's a gimmick, whether you think it shouldn't have happened, we don't care at the same time because Chelsea were actually performing. Even when we played different teams like Fluminense, Palmeiras, I don't care how much you rate them. We went on to play PSG, the best team in the world, well, at the time. And we beat them. No any other Premier League managed to beat PSG the way that we did beat them. So then we move into the preseason after not even having enough rest. We played Leverkusen. We won 2-0. We played AC Milan. We won 4-1. Now, that's not only the reason why Chelsea fans are buzzing. We are buzzing because we can see the growth in our team. We can see how our defensive structure is starting to come out right. Our midfielders starting to gel. Even the new players we just brought in, the Adri Santos, Dario Esugo, how they're starting to gel with the other team. So even when we look at the front forward, we were looking at players like Gittens, already much better than Madueke. You're looking at players like Estevao, already better than Madueke. You're looking at even the players like João Pedro, already better than Nicolas Jackson. And that's not me shitting on Nicolas Jackson because he's actually one of my best players. I wanted to keep him for this season, but he's leaving. However, we can't take away what João Pedro is doing for Chelsea right now. Scored 5 goals in 5 matches, or 4 matches, 4, 5, I don't know, 5 matches. Now, when you look at even Liam Delap, we saw what he did with Ipswich Town last season, and we can already see what he can offer to Chelsea. So we're not only buzzing because we have won 2 friendly games. No, we are buzzing because we can actually see what Maresca is doing, and we can actually see that Chelsea now are starting to play like we have everything to lose. It's not like the era when we had the Graham Potter, Pochettino. Listen, talking about how we shouldn't buzz because of these friendly matches, I can take you back to the year 2022, 2023 when we had Pochettino. We were in America there, smashing every team, and we won that, I forgot the stupid cup. We thought that vibe was going to take us into the Premier League season. Remember when Christopher Nkunku was linking up with Nicolas Jackson and Mudryk on the left-hand side? Jackson was scoring goals for fun. And then we move into the Premier League season. We were shit. We had injuries. Christopher Nkunku injured. I think he got injured within that same competition as well, the preseason. And then Nicolas Jackson, he was scoring goals, but then at the same time, he wasn't performing as he was performing in the preseason. So even Pochettino, he changed every tactics that he was using when we were in preseason. He changed everything, and we started losing match after match after match. So when it comes to Chelsea fans having to live that trauma where we were performing in the preseason, and then the beginning of, or even the entire season of the Premier League, we were shit. You can't tell us that because we already experienced that. But this time around, it is different. Now, the league might go on to be different. Maybe we might have injuries, or we might even end up, not finishing in the top 4, or we might even end up maybe winning the league. We don't know. but you cannot tell us how we should feel. Because at the end of the day, if preseason wasn't a thing where we should either get excited or get concerned, you shouldn't even be worried about Liverpool conceding as many goals as you are conceding in the preseason friendly matches. Because if they were only just friendly, you wouldn't have gone to your Twitter talking about how you're so worried going into the season because of the way your defensive structure is not right and the amount of goals you're conceding. So you can't be a hypocrite and say, listen, you can only look at the negatives when it comes to preseason, but you cannot look at the positives. No. We're not playing that game today. And let me tell you something. No matter your comments about Chelsea, we don't care. Like, we actually don't care, especially when it's coming from you and your mate, Gary Neville. We don't give a shit. Like, so you can talk as much as you want, but again, I'm speaking from a Chelsea point of view, and I'm speaking for a lot of Chelsea fans. We don't give a damn. Anyway, that's it. Now, let's move on to the Donnarumma, because apparently Chelsea are not in talks with Donnarumma, and he's not coming to Chelsea. He's leaving PSG most likely because they didn't offer him a new deal. And some of the Chelsea fans were hoping that maybe we could go, since there's a market opportunity, as they want to say it. But let me tell you something, right? Donnarumma is a good goalkeeper, but him coming to Chelsea, it won't make any sense. Now, I'm not saying that Donnarumma is not better than Sanchez, but when you look at their weaknesses and their strength, they're quite similar. What do I mean by that? When it comes to Robert Sanchez, stopped short. When it comes to Robert Sanchez, in terms of his shot stopping, he's a good player. Like, he knows how to stop the shots. But then, when you look at him playing from the back and him playing on his feet, he's not great. Now, when you look at Donnarumma at the same time, he's a good shot stopper. But then, he's also not good on his feet. Now, if you're going to upgrade Sanchez to a different goalkeeper, you better give me an Alisson. Why? Because he can do both. He can play on his feet and he can actually do shot stopping better than probably Sanchez as well. When you look at the percentile between Robert Sanchez and Donnarumma from last season for the amount of games that they played in the entire season, Sanchez had a better percentage in terms of shot stopping. So for me, I'm not going to upgrade Robert Sanchez for Donnarumma because they both have the same strength and same weakness. Now, maybe Donnarumma might be slightly better in terms of shot stopping because of his, build, but at the same time as well, it's not that much different. And I would rather keep Robert Sanchez than to get Donnarumma. But that's just me. If you are going to give me a goalkeeper that can play the way we want to play in terms of playing from the back, being good at the feet, then I might consider letting Sanchez go. But if the upgrade is not that much of a difference, I would rather keep my own goalkeeper. Why? Because he's already understanding the way Maresca wants to play. You already have good chemistry with the rest of the players. And listen, when he played in the Club World Cup, he wasn't bad. In these preseason friendlies, he's not bad either. So for me, man, I'm keeping Robert Sanchez, and that's not me saying that Robert Sanchez is like the best. No. He has his Bozo moments, and we already know when those Bozo moments are starting to come, they come like crazy. But for me to say I would rather get rid of Robert Sanchez for Donnarumma, I'm not doing that. And again, I'll say it. I'm not saying Donnarumma is a shitty goalkeeper. No, he's a good goalkeeper, but I'm looking at their strength and their weaknesses. They're quite similar. So I'll keep my Robert Sanchez. Yeah, man. We're just waiting for the Garnacho news. He's definitely coming to Chelsea. That's no secret at this point. Yeah, so we wait for that video. For the news, and then we'll do a video. But yeah, man, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and more content coming up. Yeah. Peace.